After speaking to county leaders at Board of Supervisors meetings, opponents of a planned welfare office in San Bernardino County continue to fight the city and the developer. Led by local members of the Neighborhood Association, protesters gathered on the corner of 27th Street and Little Mountain Drive.
We're all here and we're united in our opposition to this welfare office. Our neighborhood is where we live, where we raise our families, where we play, walk, ride our bikes, drive our cars, go to school, and worship. A welfare office at this site threatens all of that. In the process of doing our own research into this matter, it appears that misconduct and unethical practices have occurred. We believe it warrants an investigation. This will send a strong message to the city, the county, and developers. Therefore, we will be filing complaints with the County District Attorney's Public Integrity Division and with the grand jury. In our efforts to challenge this project, we actually have made progress, and we are effecting change. So we are happy to report that we have had our first step of victory.
Today at the protest, we reminded everybody about the negative impact, but also we wanted to thank the City Council because last night they did agree to consider a resolution to require the developer to get a CUP, conditional use permit, for the social services aspect of this project. And they also are considering changing the development code to where there is a definite requirement for any social services or TAD facilities to have a conditional use permit. There'd be no wiggle room, no ability to interpret the development code. And then the second piece would be to have the project go through the state CEQA, or California Environmental Review. Those two things we accomplished last night. They're not finalized, but it's the beginning, and we'll take that as a victory because we've been fighting this since July and we've had no response from anyone.
Do you currently live in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I just live down the street across from the school.
What are your top 3 main concerns?
Well, I'm noticing the traffic. The traffic is really bad. I'm concerned about the problems that this could bring. We've got a TAD office already over there on over at Highland Avenue near Stater Brothers, which isn't very far from here, and it's on a major street. So, we see the things that are going on over there and the issues that they're dealing with. Now we're bringing it over here into the neighborhood. So that's my concern. And also the values going down, the values of our homes going down. I don't like the busyness of the area. So I look forward to the possibility of retiring into a small neighborhood, a small town. And it's getting pretty crazy around here. The traffic's really getting bad.
Mr. Skip, you say you live 4 blocks away from here. What is your main concern?
Well, the main concern is that the city never established with the community that they were putting this building here. I understand there's a law that says they only have to inform people within a few feet. But if you live 3 or 4 blocks away, then you're not familiar with what the city is doing. The city never informed the citizens in this neighborhood about what they were doing.
We're concerned about the negative impact this social services office would have on our neighborhood, and we've addressed that both at City Council and to the County Board of Supervisors. You can see just now the traffic chaos that exists just with the regular late afternoon traffic before this office building is occupied by social services. We've been told there will be 200 employees coming to that office in the morning and leaving at night, coming and going perhaps for lunch. And they've said 500 to 800 clients will attend and visit that facility every day. So that's 700 to 1,000 car visits that will come through our neighborhood. And you can see already the difficulty we have with traffic. So traffic is probably the most important concern that we have at this point in time, but also just the overall negative quality of life issue. We feel like a transient population will come deeper into our neighborhood from down in the business district to settle around this facility. And along with that comes decreased property and personal safety, and trash and blight. And around these TAD facilities, they have sidewalk vendors that give away phones. And some also are selling food and whatnot. And so that will be a detriment to our neighborhood. We're not a business district here. This is a residential corridor. It's not a commercial corridor. While it's zoned for commercial office, it was intended to be strictly administration or professional office, not for social services. So through the permitting process, the approval was given for a development permit, but not for a conditional use permit, which is required by the development code for social services. So something went awry there, and we have suspicions that things were done inappropriately. So that it also is our concern, not just the impact, but the way it came about.
We also have a concern with this type of building that's going up. This kind of building is more to be addressed in a downtown area, not in a person's community where they live. There's buildings downtown that could be used for this. There's empty buildings downtown. There's empty lots that same type of building could be constructed. That way, a number of people could go to that area and reach a number of services. The problem is when you have a service over here, you have a service over there, you have a service over there, somebody that really needs that kind of assistance, it's a tax on them because now they have to pay transportation over here, they have to pay transportation over there, they have to pay transportation over here to do all these different services. So it's a tax on the people that need to be cared for. There's another assistance building just 2 blocks away. It's in a commercial area where the buses go by, cars and go by and things like that. There's a big lot right beside the building that the county owns. Why wouldn't you take this building and place it right beside the existing building? There's plenty of land, more resources there than there is here. That way people can go in one building, go to the other building. What they told us when they built this building is that the existing building was too small, so they need more space. Plenty of room over there in the existing area to add that space in a building like this. Why would you move this building into a community where people are walking their dogs, people are walking their kids around? We got a school just a few hundred feet away. Why would you put a building like that, like this, here in a community?
We know that this office is necessary. Apparently, it's they've run out of space at the other building, and so the need is necessary. But yeah, it's the location, it's the way things are going about. It seems to be wrong, totally wrong.
We have delved into public records that we requested, and we're still going through that. We don't have physical proof. We have presumptions based upon conversations that have been shared with us, and we put together a timeline of when this all started. We've looked at the development code, and we could just see on that basis alone that the development code was not followed. It was violated by not having the conditional use permit obtained.
As a matter of fact, the citizens here never found out until they had actually broken ground that something was going there. And then it took us a long time to discover what was going there. We thought it was going to be like a gas station or something like that would help the entire community. Now, I just want to let everybody know that I have no problem with people getting assistance. Certainly, I've gave donations, I've given money, I've sent different things to help people in the community. But when the community is not informed of what other parts of the community is doing, then we have a problem.
If you had the opportunity to tell anything to our Board of Supervisors, what would you tell them?
Do the right thing. Do the right thing that's right for everybody and not just for yourselves. Because it sounds like there's been some deceptive practices, and only God really knows. And so I'm praying that this doesn't go through.
What we want out of the county at this point is for them to agree to not occupy this building for a social services purpose, not where clients come every day, but more for an administration type building, which is what it was represented as originally to the city. The original application indicated it was a human resources office. Even the project planner, as recently as this past July, thought it was a human resources office. So there's a lot of misrepresentation, shady dealings, we suspect. Sometimes you can't get a hard and fast set of facts or evidence to prove that, but we have strong suspicions. We want to work with the city to that end and work together and try to rebuild the trust that we've lost, actually.